Congrats, Maya.
Thank you.
You already moved out there, I saw on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I moved out here on the 9th. So yeah.
Okay, you've been out there a while. Cool. How did this come about?
Well, so everybody knows, like, she was in my corner when I won Worlds, and she's been in my corner for a lot of the big tournaments for sure. And I was at the training center, and I was recovering from surgery because I just got surgery in May. And I texted her, and I was like, "Hey, Erin, do you have any what did I say? Opportunities to training opportunities?" And she was like, "No, but we have an assistant coach position." And I was like, "All right, cool, I'll take that." I've missed Erin, as a coach, as, a colleague, as just a person to like be able to be mentored by. I've missed her in my corner. I was happy when she got this position, and it was nice that I could come back and, be with her for a little bit.
Yeah, because you were training at the OTC when Erin was there, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then like Worlds and all that stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when is your position, like when do you start? Is it now?
I started when I landed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a turnaround, but it's been a lot of fun. The girls are great. The coaching staff, like the dynamic is amazing. I really like it out here.
Yeah, so who all's on the staff now?
So we have myself and then Coach Cece Weber. We hired her last year as assistant coach, so this is her second year. And then Chad, my husband, is on the staff. And then we have a fifth coach, local club coach that's helping us also. Will Weber is his name. So we have 5 coaches on the staff.
For the women's team?
Yes, for the women's team.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we have 8 coaches on the men's team. And we all work together, but we have 5 designated for the women's team.
Wow. I didn't realize how big the staffs were.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Erin, what are Maya's responsibilities going to be?
A lot of it is, mentoring the girls, being that, positive role model, that good example. I mean, when she talked about, are there training opportunities? Yes, but they come with responsibilities. And so we felt like we could really, tie in what she was looking for and also what we needed as well. So she'll be, facilitating practices, running practices, lifting with the girls, sharing meals with the girls. She is a dorm parent, so our dormitories aren't open yet, but when they do open here, October 3rd and 4th, she'll be living in the dorms with the girls, kind of a hands-on go-to person at all times of the day, the night, whatever they need. So she's just, my right-hand woman and has already stepped into that role incredibly. It's like, we didn't really have an orientation or induction week, but she just kind of stepped in and has taken, the lead when she needs to, and is listening, when she needs to, and getting to know the program too. She's already built like a great relationship and rapport with the girls. So that's great to see. It's just been a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. So yeah, she'll just be kind of, again, mentoring the girls. She'll be teaching them a lot of great freestyle technique. She has a wealth of knowledge and freestyle based is, what they need. And just her personal experience, her and I started getting together right about this age of these high school girls. When she was like a sophomore in high school, that's when I, kind of met Maya and really got to get to know her. So she's, walked in all their shoes where they are. She has recent success, has gone through the process, has had setbacks, but just remained disciplined. And doing the daily habits and the lifestyle changes. So really they're just going to learn and grow from her and her experience. And then she gets, to train with the best girls team in the nation too. And a lot of training partners and opportunities for growth and development there too.
Yeah. And Maya, is this like your first coaching gig?
My dad, he runs a little league wrestling team in Denver called the Knights. So I would go and like help him with like the really little kids, which is a lot more frustrating than these high schoolers. At least the high school girls, like they are so hardworking. They just, they embrace it fully. I told them, exactly what I expected out of them, which is, their best. And I'm like, I'm not gonna I'm not going to sit here and be mad at you for doing your best, but I do expect you to do your best every time we come in this room. And I let them know, I'm like, we're in here for 2 hours. That's all I need, 2 hours for you to work as hard as you can. That's it. So they just really, you know, responded really well, and they work so hard, and all of them want to be the best, which is a really good program to be around. So it's my first like paid coaching position, you know, but it's with an awesome team. And I think what I like most about it is because all of these girls really want it. Like every last one of them really want to be champions. So it's really refreshing, because sometimes you can get into a role where maybe not some of them want to, but all of them really want to be champions. And I really like that dynamic.
Yeah. How cool is it for you? I mean, you wrestled boys in high school. You wrestled folk style, but now you're in an environment where girls are getting the opportunity to wrestle other girls and to wrestle freestyle. What's that like for you to see that kind of change? I mean, you haven't been out of high school that long, you know?
Yeah.
Is being made.
Yeah, well, so yeah, I've only been out of high school for 5 years now, but being able to see a high school team full of girls, like that is amazing to me. And then on top of that, they're wrestling freestyle. And Erin mentioned that I met her around my sophomore year, which is, you know, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. My sophomore year, I actually was going to quit wrestling because I didn't have opportunities to wrestle with other girls. You know, I was really tired of, I was having success with the boys, but I was so tired of wrestling these boys. And I was like, what's the point? You know, like, what if I'm just doing this, what's the point? And when I met Erin, it was at a point where I was really close to quitting wrestling. And it kind of, I don't know, I found this love for it all over again because I started going, full out with freestyle. And I knew at that point, I was like, okay, now I have a goal to go towards. Because I was like, now I can be a world champion. I'm not, wrestling all these boys all the time. Wrestling the boys were at that point just a training tool. And it was a training tool to be able to wrestle these really tough girls, around the world. And now I see these girls that starting at a young age wrestling freestyle, which I feel like all the girls across the country probably should, but they're starting at a young age and they're starting, to learn these skills as they're developing their wrestling. And I think it's going to be amazing. Like, these girls are going to be a problem when they get to the senior circuit. I was telling Erin that I was like, I watched them, they had an open mat or whatever, and I was like, oh man, these girls are going to be a problem because they're so good and they're so driven. And it's very refreshing to see that it's an all girls team and they're wrestling freestyle and they're just getting after it.
Yeah. What's the work training balance going to look like for you? I'd kind of like to hear you both weigh in on this. Like, Erin, how are you going to ensure she gets the proper training while she's going for an Olympic team next year?
Yeah, so as far as our day, we have practice, mandatory practice times, but then there's a lot of free time other than that. So, Mai can get her workouts in, her lifts in. We're making sure her strength and conditioning stays where it needs to be, her rehab for the shoulder, and that's where we kind of matched up for this year for our needs and her needs as well. Because Maya is focused on getting her body healthy. We just thought this was a good atmosphere to have that balance, to not just be, train, with senior level athletes, a lot of volume and things like that. We wanted to make sure that shoulder got healthy. So, and for her to take a step back and learn wrestling from a different aspect. We all know, or, athletes that have stepped into coaching roles can say how coaching has opened up their eyes and just, the sport in a little bit different perspective and how it can help an athlete, be more open-minded and learn in a different aspect. So I really wanted Maya to have that opportunity where she's not able to, wrestle live for hours at a day right now, but to be able to work on her technique, helping our team with their technique. And again, both of them just learning at the same time. So it is, it's something that we are keeping a high priority to make sure it stays balanced and she's getting what she needs, but she's also fulfilling the team's responsibilities. And I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think really both goals right now are going to go hand in hand and everyone's going to benefit.
And I agree with that. This is just a great environment to do that. I've already started physical therapy. I've been lifting since I've been here. I get in my runs and stuff like that, and because I'm not really on the mat because of my injury. So it's definitely, there's a lot more pros than cons. I literally wrote them down too before I even took the position, and I'm definitely happy that I took it.
Yeah, and I think just like my last one is just, Maya, like what are your thoughts just in general on getting this job and the time that it's come in your life? You said everything happens for a reason, I guess. Just like, yeah, what are your thoughts overall on getting this job at this time?
Actually yesterday, it was my birthday yesterday, and
Happy
Erin was like,
birthday.
thank you. Erin was like, did you see yourself here at 23? And I was like, if you would have asked me 2 months ago if I saw myself here, I couldn't tell you yes. But I think that kind of goes with what my personality kind of is. I'm very go with the flow, and which actually Erin helped me with that, because I did not used to be go with the flow. And I think it was an opportunity that it presented itself at a perfect time, because I've been through a shoulder surgery before, and it is tough to get through it when you're watching, especially at the training center, you're watching a lot of your competition get better. And I think being here, I'm, engulfed in these girls that really want to get better. I have to stop and break down my technique as well as theirs, because I have to explain what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh gosh, like every detail counts. And I already feel like I'm getting better, and just the positivity around, I think it's really helping me heal too. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like a positive energy really helps the healing process. So, and did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. I'm like nodding to everything you say. I like everything you're saying, so I would assume. And then I said that was the last one, but Erin, how have the girls been taking to Maya?
It's like they've been best friends for years almost. Like I said, she's really built a great rapport with the athletes already. They're like, she's kind of like their big sister. They
That's
really
good.
respect her. Yeah, she's very, direct and just approaches them in a way that female high school students, girls need to be approached, and delivers a great message. And she just reiterates, the message I'm trying to send, the message USA Wrestling's trying to send. So just to see it from her perspective and her words is just phenomenal. And, Maya is the type of athlete, again, she's just put work and years into mastering her craft and being disciplined. And she's gonna continue with that balance. When she needs to be a little bit selfish and do things for her, she'll have that time. But she's a very responsible person too, and takes this job very seriously in her responsibilities too. And the girls see that. And then again, just her passion for wrestling, it matches this team's passion for wrestling. So they're all feeding off of each other, and the work ethic. Yeah, that she has and that she sees in this team. Again, it's just going to continue to rise together, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point that Maya can like relate to these girls in a way that, high school girls need to be related to, being that you've been a huge advocate for like body positivity and other like really loving who you are. And I think you have a really good opportunity just to like, with all the social media and like the expectations that they're consuming, like I didn't have that in high school, like Instagram was about like the grainiest filter that you could put on it, So I think like you have a really cool opportunity just to like influence these girls in a way that's just goes way beyond wrestling. And it's just like, these are some of the most important years of their life, especially when it comes to how they view themselves. So
yeah,
that's really cool.
Like you said, I didn't have it when I was in high school. So I really just want to be someone that I wanted when I was in high school. And, like I said, it's so amazing that they have other girls to wrestle with, and other girls that are like on the same path as them, because I know what it's like to feel like you're the only one. And then, as you grow up, you see that you weren't the only one, and you talk to people that understand that you're not the only one. And so if I could be that for them, that's definitely what I want.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for both of you, Maya. I think this is going to be such a good opportunity for you, just like in your own development as well as like their development as well. And like you've talked about how you've recently found your voice And it'd be great to kind of help these girls find their voice even at a younger age. Because like you said, you felt like you were just taking a back seat for so long. You finally have been able to kind of express yourself and like be respected for expressing yourself. It's just going to be so good for those athletes to just kind of have you as an example, especially someone who's just going through it right now, you know? So
Yeah, most
that's
definitely. Yeah, we're
exciting.
ecstatic. I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine, you know, a kind of a better candidate. We were kind of searching. Our roster was growing, you know, 26 this year. We knew we needed to extend the coaching staff. And, you know, my mind was doing circles and reaching out to people. And then when Maya, you know, mentioned that she was looking for maybe a different environment, I mean, it made sense from the get-go. Yeah, I mean, she's the whole package and you know, with little experience under her belt as far as, yeah, in a coaching role, but, you know, you don't see that. Like you said, the mentoringship, the things that are taking place even off the mat, but on the mat too, just the wrestling technique, the freestyle technique. It's so important for these girls at this age to develop the freestyle responses and holds and stuff like that. And she's, you know, can attest to how important it is to focus on freestyle earlier in the years and having success later.
Yeah. Oh, this is so great. I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you. We are too.
Yeah.